guys, so today's video is going to be kind of like a lot of things. It's mainly going to be a review on the new Natasha Denona foundation. This is the Transformatte Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation. I'm really excited to try this because I haven't heard anyone talk about it yet. I haven't really seen any videos on this. I do get PR from Natasha Denona, but I haven't in quite some time, and I was just dying to try this out, so I just purchased it off of the Sephora website. So I am gonna be testing this out today. I'm gonna show you my skin, we're gonna review it, I'm gonna come back at the end of the day. I know I have issues with first impressions. I'm the kind of person that has to try something like a million times before I say if I really like it or not, but I still like filming first impressions. I think they're fun, and if my opinion does change later on, I will always let you know. I am going to be trying out other products in today's video as well. It's just not going to be a full get ready with me, a full face of first impressions. I'm not doing that. I'm just quickly going to do my makeup after I apply my foundation with some new products, and then I will let you know my thoughts after I'm done, if that makes sense. Because I feel like I've been uploading the same kinds of videos over and over again. It's been a lot of full face get ready with me's, and I know it's getting repetitive and annoying, but there's just been so many new releases. So many. I just cannot keep up, and I want to try things out with you guys, and it's a lot. But yeah, let me know. I know I always ask you guys, but let me know in the comments below what videos you want to see from me. I kind of feel like, not that I'm burning out. I don't know if you guys watch Philip DeFranco. He kind of talked about it the other day. When you're constantly doing the same thing over and over again, and I've been doing videos since 2013, I feel like you kind of get to a point where you're like, what am I supposed to be doing? And I'm struggling a little bit, so I would love your help. I mean, the reason I've made it this far is because of you guys, so let me know. Constantly tell me, constantly give me tips. You guys are so creative and inspire me every day. Leave me comments, leave me video requests. I actually have been dying to do a full face of makeup in a sauna. I know I'm going off on a tangent. I'm gonna leave a little thing right here letting you know when the review actually starts. It's just that I didn't post a video on Friday, and I feel like I haven't spoken to you guys in a while. But I'm actually dying to do a full face of makeup in a sauna. I just don't know where I would do that. After I did my makeup in my dad's backyard where I was like sweating like a pig, I had this idea and I was like, can you imagine doing your makeup in a sauna? I even searched it up on YouTube, and I really haven't seen anybody do that, but I want to do it in like a private sauna. I don't want to do that in front of people. I'm very awkward and uncomfortable in front of strangers, so I don't know how I would do that. Can I like rent a sauna? Like for a day, can I go and use a sauna? I don't know. Trying to think out of the box here. I'm sorry there was no video up on Friday. I was not feeling myself. I had a bit of a cold, and I was just out of it. I was in the weirdest funk, and I personally don't think I should be uploading videos if I'm in a terrible mood. That's not fun for anybody. So let's get started, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so talkative. Alright, so for primer, I'm just gonna go in with my Pores No More Luminizer primer. It's a primer I enjoy, and I really like how makeup applies on top of it, and it's a primer I've used 1,000 times. So yeah. So as usual, I always do half of my face with a sponge, half of my face with a brush. I'm gonna take the foundation. This feels like it's not very liquidy. Oh well. Oh no, actually, yeah, it's pretty liquidy. I thought it was gonna be much thicker. I don't know. Oh yeah, this is a little too dark for me, but that's fine. I really like stamping my foundation in. I don't really like to rub it in, especially with a brush, because I feel like that just takes away coverage, and it moves around the primer you have underneath. It's just, you're just like rubbing everything together, and I don't like that. I mean, I'm rubbing in a little bit, but mostly stamping. This foundation is so thin though. Wow, like really thin. Okay, so this is the foundation on half of my face. I would say the coverage is medium to full, and it most definitely has a matte finish. But you know what? I wouldn't say it's a super drying, cakey matte, and I do feel like it kind of blurred my pores a bit here in this area. Some foundations just sit in your pores and they make your pores look like giant craters on your face. That wasn't the case for this one. And just so you know a little bit more about this foundation, it's just supposed to even out your skin texture, which I definitely feel like it did. It's a rejuvenating foundation that's rich in nutrients, as well as peptide technology to protect the skin from unwanted bacteria. So far, so good. I do like the feel. I like how it looks. I think it looks really natural. Let's go in with a brush, with a sponge on this side. I'm gonna use my Thrive Causemetics sponge, and I'm gonna use a full pump just like I used on this side. Okay, so the sponge definitely soaked up more product. I have to go in with like another little pump. So just keep that in mind if you are using a sponge. Looking at my skin, they pretty much look the same, both sides. I can't see much of a difference. So I would say the brush is best because it soaks up less product. Now that I have all my foundation on and I'm really looking up close at my skin, a little bit curious to see how this area looks at the end of the day. But I mean, so far so good. I think it looks really, really nice on the rest of my skin. Kind of evened it out and it looks smooth. Like it made my skin look really smooth and not too textured. Okay, so really quickly, I'm just gonna breeze through this part. I'm gonna fast forward. I'm gonna be trying out some products. I'm gonna be using 2 shades of the new Colourpop eyeshadows. These are the Jelly Much eyeshadows, and I've been so excited to try these. They look so cool. They're like jelly eyeshadows, literally. They feel like moussey and jelly, and they're so cool. I was gonna do a whole video on these, but I feel like there are so many videos on these already. But I'm obsessed with the unicorns. How cool are they? I love how these look. I haven't used them on my eyes yet, but swatching them and all that, they look so fun. I'm gonna be using Ventura on my entire lid. This is like the purple space one. And then I'm gonna be using a shimmery one on my inner corners. And then for highlight though, I'm gonna be trying out one of the new Ofra and NikkieTutorials highlights. I'm so excited. I've been wanting Space Baby forever, since the first time I saw Nikki use this on her face. And I don't even like colorful highlighters. Like I'm so excited. And I'm gonna be using this for the first time today. This is the new Milk Makeup Blur and Set Matte Loose Setting Powder. I'm only gonna be setting my under eye concealer. I'm gonna use my Too Faced Born This Way. And I'm gonna see how I like this because brands have been killing it with loose powders these days. And I feel like I've been loving so many. And then for mascara, I'm gonna use the new Nars Climax mascara? Yeah. This will be like the 3rd time I use this. This is insane. This makes your lashes so long. I was extremely impressed. So let's do that. Now that I'm pretty much almost done with my makeup, let me discuss some things. Okay, so this highlight is beautiful. You know what's great about it is when I look straight on, you can't really see it on the skin. You can see it a little bit here because I brought it on top of my cheek, like towards the front. But if I wouldn't have done that, you wouldn't have been able to see it unless I turned to the side. Like the purple in this highlight. It's just so pretty. Look at that. Wow. I mean, yes, it's not very wearable, obviously. It's like purpley blue, but it's so cool. Every time I wear colors like this, I think of Sharon from Colourpop. She's always rocking like a really gorgeous purpley blue highlight, and it looks so freaking pretty on her. And I was really worried about how it was gonna look on top of this foundation, because this foundation is pretty matte, but wow, it doesn't look textured on my skin at all. I'm just so impressed on how it's sitting on top of this matte foundation, because I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, during this process of doing my makeup, my opinion is changing a little bit on this foundation. I noticed when I was applying my bronzer that it was applying a little bit drier. It wasn't applying drier, it looked drier on my skin, and that's because I'm wearing a matte foundation, obviously, but things just look a little bit more matte and dry on my skin, more than usual, more than I would like. Whenever I wear more matte foundations, my skin just looks a little bit drier, obviously, because it's matte. So for my skin type, this isn't my favorite, but so far everything I've tried I've really liked. I will say though, with these Jelly Much eyeshadows, I feel like it's best to use your finger. I don't know if you guys noticed, I was trying to use a brush in the beginning, and I noticed that when I passed my brush over my lid, the eyeshadow became a little bit patchy. Like if you apply a layer on your lid and you swipe the brush too much, it will start to separate and it'll pick up on your lid and it will look a little bit patchy, and then once it dries, it freaking dries. So you can't really blend it. So I would recommend applying this with your fingers. I think that's the best way. And I would also recommend doing one layer. If you think that you need more, wait till it dries, then go in with another layer and lightly tap it onto your lid, and then blend it out with like your finger, and you will get a more flawless application. And I feel like once you do that, it is a really cool, stunning eyeshadow, and it's completely dry. Like, is dry. So it's a little bit messy. It's a product you have to work with a little bit, but I think they're so cool, and the finish is so foiled and unique. And for $8, alright, so my camera died and I charged it for like 5 seconds. It's about to die again. I just put on my RMS Daytime Nude lip liner, and on top of that I'm gonna go in with this lip gloss by Camila Cabello and Loreal. It's from her Havana collection. This is called Serendipity. These are the lip dews, and oh my gosh, if you're gonna get something from the Camila Cabello collection, get the lip dews. They're really, really good lip glosses. And they smell like my childhood. Oh my god, they smell so good. Okay, and I wanted to talk about the mascara. I really like this mascara. I feel like it makes my lashes really, really long. The only thing I don't like is that I'm noticing like little flakes on my face already. I feel like I didn't notice that the other day though when I used this. So, I don't know, I'm gonna pay close attention throughout the entire day, but I'm seeing a little flaking, which is weird. Last but not least, okay, I know this is a foundation review, wear test, first impressions, but I really want to test out this makeup setting spray, so I'm gonna do it on just one side of my face so that we can see how the foundation wears on its own. But I also want to test if this makeup setting spray is any good, if it really does make your makeup last. This is the Lancome Fix It, Forget It, up to 24-hour makeup setting mist. Let's do one side of the face, so let me just hold this up here. Now that this side has completely dried, you can kind of see the difference. I don't feel like it made my skin look extra dewy or extra plump or anything. It was to be expected, but it did melt in the products a little bit nicer. So I really like that. I do feel like this side of my face automatically just looks better already. So I'm very excited to see how these sides compare. And yeah, I will be back at the end of the night to tell you my final thoughts. Hey guys, so it is 10:10 p.m. and I always forget to tell you guys the time when I'm done with my makeup, but I remember as soon as I was done, I went outside to walk the dogs and I looked at the time on my phone and it was 1:27, and I remember that because that's my birthday. So I guess I finished my foundation around 1. So it's been about 9 hours now, and this is what we have. And you know what? I think it looks pretty good for it being 9 hours. I actually have a few foundations in my collection that break down and fade a lot quicker than this. My Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk is one of them. Like my bronzer, my blush, and my highlight have not moved. So that is really impressive. I would say this is a long wearing foundation. This will definitely take you through the day. I mean, it does depend on your skin type, of course, but lasting power gets an A+ from me. But I will say though, to be quite honest with you, this isn't my favorite foundation. I was constantly looking in the mirror all day and I was like, I have so many other foundations in my collection I like more. This is just personally a little bit too matte for me. I was just noticing a little bit of cakiness around my nose. My smile lines just looked a little bit more dry. Sometimes I like matte foundations because they don't emphasize my smile lines too much, but I feel like this is a matte foundation that does sink into my lines a bit because it's something I kept noticing throughout the day around my mouth and on my forehead. I mean, at this point in my life, I'm 26 years old. with very dry skin. I tend to go for something that's gonna make my skin look more youthful and plump and hydrated, but sometimes I will like my occasional matte foundation. But I don't think this is one of them. I mean, looking at my skin right now, it doesn't look bad at all. Like, I kind of look dewy. Like, looking in my viewfinder, I look a little dewy. I don't know how you're gonna love this if you have really oily skin, because I don't know how it's gonna wear throughout the day or how it's gonna hold up. But like I was saying, it doesn't look bad when I look at my skin, but I have a lot of foundations in my collection that look better and are cheaper. Remember, this is a $45 foundation and you don't even get a full ounce. I mean, you almost get an ounce. It's 0.94 ounces, so not as pricey as Luminous Silk or other brands like that, but definitely not the cheapest. And for me personally, I guess because I have so many foundations, I'm trying out so many foundations constantly, I just look at this foundation and I'm not wowed by it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I know they were a little vague. I still have to play around with this foundation a little more. By the way, let's talk about this guy. This is what I used on the left side of my face, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with the foundation. Not so much impressed with this because I feel like my face looks exactly the same on both sides. I wouldn't say it made my makeup last longer. I don't know, what do you think? My hair is so frizzy, I can't. Do any of you guys have really frizzy hair? I live in Miami, and I know there's no avoiding it, but if any of you guys have great hair products for super frizzy hair, not mildly frizzy, like insanely frizzy, let me know. Anyway, as for the rest of the products, I think this mascara is great. It doesn't make your lashes crispy. In fact, it makes them extremely, extremely soft. Like, they feel so soft. And I didn't notice any more flaking on my face throughout the day, so I don't know what that was about earlier, but... And yeah, the Jelly Much is very much on my eyes still. But yeah guys, that completes this video. I woke up this morning at 5:45 and I'm so sleepy. So I'm gonna start editing this video, but then I'm gonna finish editing it in the morning and then I will post it. But anyway guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. So I do have to play. It's made with silicone elastomers. I don't know what that word is. Check this. Oh, okay. I'm gonna come back at the end of the days. At the end of the day, I feel like Invisalign has really affected my speech.